This is Mac OS Ken.
AI drives Apple and Nvidia above 3T. Thoughtful consideration of Apple's place in the AI race. And Vision Pro may go global next week. It is Thursday, the 6th of June, 2024. I'm Ken Ray, and this is news from Mac OS Ken. Brought to you by yours truly and sponsored by Pen Chalet, selling exquisite fountain pens for over 10 years with special offers for Mac OS Ken listeners at penchalet.com/MacOSKen. This show is also supported by people like you, patrons through Patreon. Find out more and add your support at patreon.com/MacOSKen. Apple's market cap is back above $3 trillion, though that makes it the least of a trio. MacRumor says while Apple was easing back into 3T territory, Nvidia not only crossed the $3 trillion mark Wednesday for the first time ever, but it overtook Apple to become the world's second most valuable company as of market close. Microsoft is still on top. Driving both Nvidia and Apple above $3 trillion market caps is AI. Nvidia makes processors that power the space, while the world is on pins and needles waiting to hear what AI announcements Apple is going to make next Monday at the Worldwide Developer Conference. A piece from Bajarin had a couple of analysts fanning that flame where Apple is concerned. First up, Wedbush analyst Daniel Ives. Barron's had Apple's biggest bull, writing in a research note, WWDC represents the most important event for Apple in over a decade, as the pressure to bring a generative AI stack of technology for developers and consumers is front and center. Pressure to which he expects Apple to rise. Barron's has Ives indicating that next week's conference could be a major boost to the iPhone maker's stock. Mr. Ives has an outperform rating on Apple shares and a price target of $275. The other notable cited in the Barron's piece, Citi analyst Atif Malik. According to the report, Malik wrote in a note that Apple has a key advantage in data security, a concern for consumers as AI becomes more popular. Apple is known for taking privacy seriously, he said, adding that he expects Apple to spend time talking about their privacy efforts during WWDC. Mr. Malik has a buy rating on Apple shares. His price target on the shares is $210. I will say, it is refreshing to hear someone on the financial side like Malik talk about something regarding Apple and AI, besides the gobs of money they could make from it. Diving deeper on that side on Wednesday was Macworld's Jason Snell. Starting boldly, the headline for his piece declares, Apple is about to enter the world of AI, and nothing will ever be the same. Pulling pertinent points from his post, Apple has the chance to show that it's a company committed to using AI for features that truly make its customers' lives better. Historically, he writes, Apple has been a company with a very strong philosophy about new technologies. They should be applied to solving the problems of real people. Most tech companies have historically had this backward. They take delivery of some whizzy new technology, fresh off a manufacturer's conveyor belt, and shove it into a product. The result tends to be products that are solutions, desperately searching for problems. Noting the wave of unreliable garbage some AI launches have generated, and those were his words. Snell says Apple has the chance to depict itself as the adult in the room, a company committed to using AI for features that make its customers' lives better, not competing to do the best unreproducible magic trick on stage. In doing so, he continues, it risks being seen as dowdy and behind. But if Apple can see beyond the latest tech industry hype cycle, and it's generally good at doing that, it can bet on iPhone users being more interested in real features than impractical nonsense. That said, and despite his nothing will ever be the same proclamation, Snell does seem to have some concern that Apple may be too careful with whatever AI offerings it brings. Ultimately, Snell advises, as you watch the WWDC keynote and read reactions to the announcements, keep this question in mind. Will this make iPhone, Mac, or iPad users happy? Or is it just happening to appease investors, journalists, and other tech industry insiders? The more times Apple does the former, the better its announcements will be in the long run. There may be some among us who have no interest in whatever AI whatever Apple plans to bring to its ecosystem. You didn't ask, but I'll tell you, I am not one of those people. I am truly interested in what Apple will offer. I'm not excited yet. I want to hear what they say before I go that far. Similar to what Snell said, though, I either don't know or don't trust a lot of the companies bringing AI, for fun, let's say, bringing AI solutions to market. I know, and on many fronts trust, Apple. So depending on what they offer, I'm probably in. For those who are not, there's a rumor that says you will be able to stay in Apple's ecosystem, but do so without the AI stuff. Cult of Mac quotes a Bloomberg report as saying Apple is expected to offer its new AI features as an opt-in service, according to people familiar with the matter, so wary customers could easily steer clear of them if they'd prefer. Here's hoping. Apple and AI is a huge part of the first episode of the Mac Observer show, by the way. We think we've got all the kinks worked out. If you search your podcatcher of choice for Mac Observer, you should find the show. You can also search for Ken Ray and it should turn up. Right now there are shows from over a year ago and a promo for the new show. Then tomorrow, Episode 1 with Creative Strategy CEO Ben Bajarin should drop. I'm going to say will drop. I'm going to say should drop. Running roughly 45 minutes, we hit a range of topics, including Apple and robotics, foldable iPhones, why Apple crashed the car, the state of Apple Vision Pro, and the topic du jour, expectations and possibilities for Apple and AI. It is a great way to start the show's run. Look for and follow the Mac Observer show, and keep an eye out for new episodes every Friday, starting this Friday. More news in a moment, but first a word from today's sponsor, Pen Chalet, selling exquisite fountain pens for over 10 years. One of my favorite things about fountain pens is what they say about you. Take the starter boxes put together specifically for macOS Ken listeners at penchalet.com/macOS Ken. Do you go for the classic yet retro pop styling of the Pilot Metropolitan, or the more decidedly modern Lamy Safari? Both come with great paper and specially selected ink to get you going, all bundled at a discount and all waiting for you. But there's more to it. Like, what kind of nib is right for you? Don't worry if you're not sure. Pen Chalet can help you decide. It's not just about how the pen looks, of course, but how what you do with it looks too. Personally, I love finding favorite inks. My current favorites, Fisherman at Sea from Dominant Industry and Copper Noir from Monteverde, are both available from Pen Chalet. Inks are crazy. A year ago, if you had told me there were different shades of black, I don't think I would have understood. From bulletproof inks to colors that pop, it is a whole other side of the fountain pen thing. And macOS Ken listeners can get those at a discount. Head to penchalet.com/macOS Ken. Check out the discounted starter boxes or use the code MOK10 for 10% off purchases besides the starter boxes. Graduations, Father's Day, fountain pens make great gifts for other people or for you. See what's waiting at penchalet.com/macOS Ken. And a big thanks to Pen Chalet for sponsoring today's show. All of a sudden, we are looking for Apple Vision Pro to launch internationally in the next week or so, thanks to TF International analyst Ming-Chi Kuo. Our week started with two rumors about international launches for Apple's spatial computer, one that put an international launch in early July, and another that put it at the very end of this month. Now Ming-Chi Kuo has gone to the spot where Twitter used to be. Vision Pro shipment survey update says his post, shipments to non-US markets, mainly the UK, France, Germany, China, Japan, and Singapore, are set to begin before the middle of this month, later than previously predicted before the 2024 WWDC. The 2024 global shipment estimate remains unchanged at 400 to 450,000 units. The ramp-up of rumors has many, including Cult of Mac, thinking Apple will announce international launch details during WWDC's Monday keynote. The Cult says it's equally likely the venue will also bring visionOS 2, the first major update for the operating system that runs Apple Vision Pro. The piece has Bloomberg's Mark Gurman looking for visionOS 2 to add features missing from the current operating system. Gurman and the Cult think that could include dedicated versions of such Apple apps as books, maps, podcasts, voice memos, and so on. Currently, the headset uses iPad versions of those. While some of Apple's apps on Vision Pro limp along with iPad versions, Apple's trying to get developers pumped with a headset-specific version of its developer app. A piece from Mac Rumors says the company's developer app for visionOS has a special immersive environment for watching session videos. According to the piece, Apple's environment for the developer app features a black background with neon light animations in the colors of the WWDC artwork that Apple is using this year. It serves as a visually interesting background that's not too distracting for those who want to watch WWDC content with the world shut out. They should do one that's like the theater at Moscone Center. I know it's been a few years, but for some, that is probably WWDC in its most natural state. And finally today, if you haven't made it to an Apple store to try out its spatial computer, maybe a trip to the home improvement store instead. 9to5Mac says Lowe's is piloting a program that will see kitchen installs demonstrated through Apple Vision Pro. The news is small, but significant. The piece points out that such demos have only been offered at Apple retail locations so far. Let us not gloss over the small part, though. 9to5Mac says the Lowe's pilot initiative will take flight in central Charlotte, North Carolina from June 8th through the 12th. Apple Vision Pro demonstrations will expand to Lowe's stores in North Bergen, New Jersey and Sunnyvale, California from the 22nd of June through the 25th. Of course, you and I are Apple nerds. For Lowe's, Apple Vision Pro may simply be the best way to sell folks on new floors and appliances. According to the company, the in-store Lowe's Style Studio experience centers on an immersive kitchen visualization session where customers wear Apple Vision Pro and run the Lowe's Style Studio app to explore preset styles curated by Lowe's professional designers and customize hundreds of real-world materials, fixtures, and appliances to fit their personal taste. The company says there are nearly 80 billion design combinations, all of which can be purchased at the store or through the store's site. And if you're really just in it for the Vision Pro demo, seems like that is fine with them. Indications from 9to5Mac are that the Lowe's website leans pretty hard into the Apple Vision Pro thing. You'll get to try the Apple Vision Pro for yourself, says the site, and experience the magic of spatial computing. The whole thing should take about 45 minutes, according to the report. macOS Can, brought to you by me, and sponsored by Pen Chalet, selling exquisite fountain pens for over 10 years with special offers for macOS Ken listeners at penchalet.com/macOSKen. This show is also supported by people like you, patrons through Patreon. Find out more and add your support at patreon.com/macOSKen. Advertising handled by Backbeat Media, online at backbeatmedia.com. You can reach me a couple of ways. Info at macosken.com or call 716-780-4080. Until next time, that is news from macOS Ken. I'm Ken Ray.
Ciao.